In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, AfterBuzzers! Thank you so much for tuning in to the Orphan Black After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight, we'll be discussing Season 4, Episode 4, From Instinct to Rational Control. Please stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Get it? Because they go to an in vitro place.
Exactly.
Found in this episode.
And Helena's having so babies. So welcome, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the AfterBuzz After Show for Orphan Black. I am your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. I have two very lovely ladies here hosting with me. Please introduce yourselves. Let us know where we can find you on the Twitter.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo.
Hey, I'm Joelle Monique, and you can find me on Twitter at Joelle Monique.
Awesome. And of course, guys, don't forget to follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV on everything. Joelle is on the live chat. So, chat.
Say hey.
Yo,
say
Lucas,
hi. We love you
Lucas
guys.
Farlow, why'd you miss last week's episode? Huh?
That's your show.
Yeah, Kelly, why'd you miss last week's episode?
I had to do a show.
Call out the
Stand-up
fans.
show.
We, got a lot of important things to do. We're all here this week except for Amanda. We miss you. But this week was really good. What did you guys think of the episode?
Loved it.
I'm into it.
I love whenever we get answers. Whenever things start to fill in, I can go, aha! Like I found out, but they just told me. I get really excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I thought it was amazing. We got a ton of answers. We saw most of our favorite people. Some of our favorite people's storylines were a little lighter, like Sarah. It was very Sarah heavy this episode, which is typical, but I would have liked to see a little bit more Helaina. I was a bit confused and not understanding, but we'll get into her.
Yeah.
Overall, great season so far, great episode. Let's start off with MK. Ooh. What do you guys think of her in general?
Wow, she knows how to fight sometimes, you know? She seems like a little lamb. Nope. Little lamb's got teeth and...
She's, what do they call it? A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
Boom.
I definitely get that feeling from her. I think she's a survivor, though. I think that she's done everything that she can to survive. I think the stunts Sarah pulled in this episode were... Really, I totally understand, her initial reaction to, how could you? I have trust issues. I haven't been able to reach out to any of the other clones. I already feel like I'm putting you in danger, and then to pull this, to call him.
Yeah.
But you gotta do what you gotta do, kind of. I kind of see Sarah's thing, she wants to work with everybody to find the answers, but not everybody wants to work with each other.
Well, it's kind of sad because it's we're sisters, but there's now going to be different teams of sisters. It seems
like a civil war for twins, clones, not the twins,
yeah.
Clones.
Well, and I said this to you guys at the beginning of the before we started shooting. I felt kind of stupid because when we saw Nikki, who's a new clone to us, I was like, that looks a lot like Crystal.
Sure.
And I was thinking, wait, did I get her name wrong last season? Was I confused? But no, we do get introduced to a new clone who was very close to MK.
There's more than one blonde girl that's a clone,
Sorry, Kelly.
I'm just saying.
Just standing up for the
We all
blondes over
don't
there.
look alike.
But, I mean, the clone blondes do because they're clones.
Well, she seemed more like a natural blonde. No, I don't know.
Well, we're going to kind of get bits and pieces of MK, especially with Sarah's storyline, so we're going to get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to get your guys' opinion of her thus far, because, we feel bad for her, and then now do we, don't we?
I really like MK, and I don't feel like we have to feel bad for her because she's kind of taking care of business on her own. To learn her backstory was definitely kind of harrowing, but I think that she's come such a long way from there, and I just keep going back to the word survival. She's gonna make it. It doesn't matter what else is going on. MK is a survivor, and I think it's kind of cool to see out of the clones.
Yeah.
I think she's just like all the clones, sticking up for what you believe in. She believes this Ferdinand's gotta pay.
And he does, which well, he doesn't have to pay quite that much yet, but I think we'll see an end of him. Yeah,
that will stick with him for a while.
He's done a lot of things, but so we have the smaller, more fun storylines, which I loved this episode. Alison, and she sends Donnie and Felix to the fertility clinic to get intel because she gets confronted by Trina at a coffee shop, who was in she was in the first 2 episodes.
She's alive. We weren't sure kind of what happened to her post
And baby free.
Yes,
Yeah.
or at least not in body.
Yeah.
Where is that baby? I have questions.
I think I don't. Yeah, that's a really good point actually, because I just get this feeling the baby is not with her, or it's not alive. I don't know. And she doesn't have the creepy eyes anymore. She seems not to be a Neolutionist.
And she used the phrase, "I told you I was a carrier." She wanted that to be kept a secret, that she was a carrier, and I'm like, carrier for what? Did you inject yourself with something to give it to the baby on purpose? Are they experimenting with babies? There's so many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Well, it does kind of seem that they might be, with this whole fertility clinic, that they are experimenting with babies and pregnant women.
Yes.
But, you know, Felix and Donnie go in and pretend to be a gay couple, which was so fun. Donnie is the best. I'm just obsessed with him. We have him coming in our show in June, guys, by the way.
So
Sorry, I
excited.
forgot to announce that.
So excited.
Yeah,
So
he's
exciting.
gonna be here in June, so that is so exciting. So everyone get prepared for that. But he did an amazing job in this episode. He was so funny. The comic relief for sure.
Yeah.
And when Felix asked him, he's like, "Do you have any gay friends?" And
No.
yeah.
No, I forgot what the name of their town is.
Oh, I know. It's like those Canadians probably
Guys-
know exactly what they're
Guys,
talking
what's the name of the town that Alison and Donnie live in? You know.
Yeah, help us out. It's very like general sounding, and I come from a town like that. So when he was like, no, specifically there, at least like 5% of your friends at least are gay.
Yeah, and why is that? Has Felix like had sex with them? Probably.
I feel like Felix is just like, dude, we're just normal people. Like, take it down a notch, Donnie.
I mean, everybody wants to have sex with a bartender, and he did play the bartender in one of Alison's
That's true.
parties. Not everybody wants to have sex, but
Well,
like,
I mean, listen, Fee has got it. Like he even had sex with the freaking coroner in like the first season. Remember?
He did. I forgot, but yeah, he did.
Scarborough, Lucas says.
Thank you, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas. And we have a really fun scene when they have to give their sperm samples, and Donnie calls Alison asking for help, and it's weird because she puts on like a Helaina-esque accent.
Or like Italian-y? Like,
Yeah, she's the Italian flight attendant.
She was Italian.
I didn't pick up Helaina in there, but I really liked the whole, like, the fact that that's their role play. This really, really corny, very bad Italian accent. And it, like, I guess they're having, like, lavatory sex is the, like, mental image, but the whole, like, you need to fasten your seatbelt thing. And I was like, what other kind of weird, like, hidden underneath kinks are you guys having here? This is a very strange, but funny and relatable scene.
It was
Donnie.
amazing. I love it.
They're great.
And he still seems like sweet and innocent even when he's masturbating, which is like,
Yeah, you're not grossed out by it at all. You're like, oh, these
I know.
Donnie.
Like, what a sweetheart. Oh, he's just like, oh man. But also, there's this woman, Portia, that, okay, explain this for me, fans and you guys here. So with this baby thing and the what are they calling it?
Brightborn?
Yes, exactly.
Which is the most cultish name ever. Like, the minute they said Brightborn, I was like, this is some weird cult. This is creepy.
yeah. And oh, guys, we also
Evie
have
Cho.
Evie Cho coming in a couple weeks. That actress.
Way to call her total evil, maniacal big bad for this season. What is she doing?
Yeah, she's doing something, and we find out later that she's ahead of this all of everything. But this woman Portia, who Alison has known from the neighborhood, whatever, couldn't have children. Now she can, so she kind of coerces this woman with real tears, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I totally. I felt a switch. I felt like the beginning of that car scene was like, let me get some information out of you. You might know your situation changed, but mine didn't. So what do you know? And I think the more she talked, the more she kind of connected to her real situation. And I think I'm really glad the show explores these aspects, these like fertility issues, because so many women have them and they don't really get talked about a lot, and it can be really frustrating. It's a long, super, super expensive process. So I'm glad they're kind of delving into it and kind of showing, I don't even want to say the desperation, but just the desire to be like, I want my own child. Like, I love my kids that I already have that I adopted, and they're great, but I'm watching my sisters have babies that are going to look like, well, us, but she wants one of her own. And so I thought that was a really nice kind of human moment for Alison.
It really was, because, we see her actress side again this week, which was a fun singing thing, that she does. And she's good at putting on a face. And
she's out of all the clones, I think she's the best actress, do you know?
Yeah, which is so crazy, because we're still talking about, like, the same actual actress. Yeah. But it's amazing.
They're all pretty good, though. Even Helaina does a pretty decent Alison.
Yeah. Well, no, she does a pretty... What did she do? She did a semi-decent... it was either Sarah or Beth. I wasn't impressed with her Alison. I was really surprised that no one called her on that.
I was more not, because I was expecting her to be worse, I think.
Yeah.
But I think the information made me more surprised, like that she knew everything. But she is a trained killer.
Let's talk about Helaina then, because we didn't get a lot of her this episode. I know some fans wanted more. I personally did. And I was a little bit confused, because Donnie tells her that Alison's basically jealous of her, and to tone it down. So then she just she doesn't want to hurt Alison anymore. So she's like, I know, Alison probably seeing me get pregnant, it's a big that's what's causing trauma. So she doesn't want to hurt her sister. I feel like this is kind of a good Helaina showing. She's like, but Helaina, she's not the smartest. She thinks, I gotta leave. Forget it, I'm just leaving. I'm not gonna... Yeah. Because she doesn't want me here.
I definitely don't know if Alison could handle the whole pregnancy. Like, it already seemed like she's really fracturing at home. Like, and it's in a controlled Alison way, but she's definitely not as comfortable there. She's been doing really great work outside of the house, though. And I'm loving seeing her kind of... I don't want to call it a crime boss. I think that's a step too far. But the whole kind of espionage thing that she's starting to get into and taking more control and kind of exploring outside of her depths is really cool to me. I think Helaina was just... Like, clearly, I think she's got, like, such a great relationship with Donnie. Like, they work really, really well together. I don't think she wants to get in the way. She would never do anything to hurt any of the sisters. Like, that's kind of been her main thing since season 1 even. Is like, I'm not here to hurt the sisters.
Well, when she stopped trying to kill them.
Yes. Yeah. Halfway through season 1, she was like, this is maybe not the healthiest thing for me to do, when she learned that she could have a connection through Sarah.
Yeah, they realized their sisters, not just, like, other clones,
Yeah, and, she leaves. We don't know what's going to happen with her. She does not belong on her own with these 2 babies inside of her.
Really? I think she'll be fine. My guess, and I'm hoping, and this is kind of my prediction, is that she's going to go look for a Farmer Boy clone. Even though, because is she aware that...
Is she aware that he's still...
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's kind of unclear what she is aware of and, like, where she's going, what she thinks is going to happen. We just have a little taste of her, and I'm a big fan, as I know Kelly is. So.
Yeah, and she buries her science babies.
The
nitrogen? That's what it was?
I was super confused by that. I was like, I'm so confused. What's she doing? And then Ave Maria, playing in the background. So.
Yeah. I thought the I don't know if it was necessarily prayer, but the words she spoke over the grave I thought were really eloquent in a Helaina way. They were just really kind of cute and charming, and I'm gonna tell your twin babies about our adventures together. I think she's gonna be such a great mom.
Because she's a child.
I don't.
You don't? I think she'll be really good care of the babies.
Good with, like, playing with them and stuff,
exactly.
But not washing their butts and stuff.
Because she doesn't wash her own butt, probably. Yeah. I mean, really.
Eating with a fork and knife.
She's just learning those things, literally. So the babies, I think... Ooh, okay, I'm going to save this for predictions, but I came up with a really good one. I got it. Okay, so next we have my favorite, Cosima. And, we only get a little bit of her. And this is what is annoying me about Sarah. To me, Cosima is in the most immediate danger. And everyone stopped worrying about her. And now she's trying to fix everyone else's problems.
But I feel like she can't do anything for Cosima. Like, she doesn't have the science background that a lot of her sisters have. She doesn't have the ability to do the research. Cosima's in the best place. Like, I mean, she's in the most immediate danger, but she can't get her any more help. They put her in the best possible place.
And she's constantly trying to heal herself, She knows what... I feel like she would let us... never mind. I was going to say I feel like she would let us know when she's worse, but she wouldn't, because it's Cosima. But also, I think... I think Sarah thinks that she's more important because nobody knows what this is. They kind of know what Cosima's illness is, and slowing. You know, she's not. It doesn't seem like she's coughing up blood or anything anymore.
Yeah,
so it's kind
slowed.
of in a remission-ish
Yeah.
thing. It's
But
livable.
I totally understand your hesitation with Sarah, though. Like, she's pushing everyone away, and kind of a really, I mean, it's not violent, but it's very reactionary, where it's like, you have relied on these girls for, what is our time span, 6 months? Something like that. And for you now to just be like, you guys don't understand, I have something in my cheek and I have to go out and like lone wolf everything. Like, they've been there for you. Nobody has ever let you down. All you have to do is communicate the plan, and pretty much everyone is like, yes, go.
Yeah, I didn't like how she snapped at Alison, like, pull your own weight. She pulls her weight.
And
girl.
then some. And she's the only one looking out for your brother right now, who you're just so upset that he wants to find some kind of other connection outside of you. Yeah. I understand that she's under a lot of pressure, but the whole, like, leaving her daughter kind of in the dust, her brother, she's okay with S for the first time, like, ever. But, you know, and then to do that to MK, when you know MK has issues, I just feel like she's gonna alienate herself to the point of where, like, she's doing it on her own, and the sisters are gonna have to come together and save her.
Or kill her, like her daughter said.
Scary. No, I hope not. But then they had to. Oh,
Yeah,
God, what is
I don't
going
know.
on?
Well, you know, then we'll get into the bulk of the episode, which really is Sarah stuff. And that starts with Cosima, because Cosima gets the head from Dr. Leaky. It's the Dr. Leaky head, which is just like, what, they just ship that? They just, like, what, put it in a... How'd they get that head?
Freeze dried ice, or what is that? Dry ice package, just ship. They don't check.
Hey, things smell. They're not gonna suspect anything.
As long as there are no perfumes in there, you're good to go. They're like, we'll ship it.
Or
Yeah,
anything
it's like-
ticking or vibrating.
Or if it's not any weed, or there's, you know, it's like the dog can smell it, then it's, a head, fine. And they find out this stuff about the chip because Dr. Leaky had it, and it's still kind of like living inside the tumor that he had.
That's crazy.
And let me just say how gross it was from the scene with Donnie, though, when he was masturbating, then cut to the scene with Cosima.
Oh, yeah.
It was so nasty.
I really liked that.
I was like, come on, Orphan. I love you guys. I mean, I kind of loved it, but I was just like, semen, gross. But, you know, then we get into Sarah, and yeah, she's freaking out. She's going everywhere, doing everything, and she goes, there's this guy, Dizzy. What do you think of this dude? Do you think he's hot at all, first of all?
No.
Is he hot?
Let me just, because
No.
am I, like, having weird, like, feelings, or am I a freak?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
the actor is attractive. I feel like
What?
the character isn't. But here's the difference. The actor might walk a red carpet and be like, hey, what's up? But in the show, I'm concerned about his position of power, and I really don't need Sarah rushing into another kind of fruitless relationship with a guy you barely know who can't give you much of anything. Like, this is the last thing she needs right now is a love interest.
Especially
like, focus.
Kira's dad is way hotter.
Is the bomb. Like, if
Like,
Garage
you're
Dude is like a
downgrading a
6,
lot.
like her like baby daddy is easily a 10. Oh my God,
You
he's
giving him a
gorgeous.
6? No.
No, I said Garage Dude is like a 6.
Yeah.
You were
No,
saying he's
no,
even
I'm saying-
lower than a 6.
Yeah, no. I would not give him a
Get out of here.
4.
Oh, they're just dirtying him up, and you know he has this tie with MK, which is we still don't exactly know how they met or whatever.
I'm confused why she trusts him so much.
That's
Like,
again stupid
she
decisions.
took his phone and she gave it back, and she's like, tell me everything about MK. It's like, how do you know? He could be a Neolutionist or something, you know? Didn't she met him at Club Neolution, right?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Again, I think she's rushing into a lot of really poor decisions in the same way 2 episodes ago when she went to the house to investigate and saw, like, she's just rushing headfirst into things without thinking, without consulting anyone else. S is right there for you. She's been through it all. She's definitely there to protect you, although maybe not. She's there for you, but I feel like S still has secrets.
She does, and I mean she knows Fernandad. I say that right.
Ferdinand.
I kept on writing it as Ferdinand. I was like, Ferdinand, that doesn't sound right. Ferdinand, I can't say it. Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
That's going to be my future son's name because I'm just going to be butchering it constantly. Okay. Ferdinand, you know, him and Mrs. S have this past together kind of, and we start kind of the episode a little at the beginning in Sarah's storyline with Mrs. S Ferdinand and Sarah talking about what's in her cheek, and they know that it's Rachel's mom, basically Susan or whatever, her original guardian. That's the only one that might have the answer to this.
Susan is a stone cold bee.
Oof.
Oh my god, I immediately hate her. Like, after this episode, I was like, I'm looking forward to Susan's death more than like Ferdinand's, and more than anyone else. Like, Susan can go.
Yeah, because she doesn't seem to have any kind of
compassion or mothering.
Like, even Ferdinand, he loves Rachel, and that's really why he's doing all of this.
Can I just say, I really like the way he described their future together as of like, we get a little cottage out in the woods until we're ready to rise to power and take over everything. And I was like, this is the man I want to marry. Not Ferdinand, but a guy who's just like, yeah, we're gonna be a power couple and take over the world. Yes, sir. I respect that.
It was it's interesting to see more about him, because for the time being, we kind of like him. We don't like him, but we need him. Like, Sarah needs him.
And also, he's a good comedic.
Oh, yes.
He was in True Blood, remember? We were talking about True Blood before the show started. He's been in a lot of shows like this. And
he's a great character actor, and he brings a lot of energy to a scene. Like, the whole scene with MK, like, the range of emotions that he's able to hit in there and still feel like within the scene and not go too far, I thought was really, really well executed.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, it's like him and the actress that plays Rachel, but it's like, that's freaking, Tatiana. Again, keeps on getting me every time. I'm like, that actress is so great. They're so different. Nope, they're the same. But Dizzy, back to this guy, he is helping Sarah, and Sarah, again, breaks the first rule of Clone Club. Don't talk about Clone Club. And he straight up asks.
Yeah.
She's so desperate that she just tells a secret, just spills it really fast.
Here's the thing. What do you guys think Sarah thinks is in her cheek? Is it just the fear of the unknown that's making her act this way? Is it having been under this much pressure? Is she going like a Beth way? I don't understand 100%.
I think also, like, now that she knows that anything that if it touches it the wrong way, it'll like buzz and kill her.
But see,
I think that video freaked her out. Like, she doesn't want to die.
That's fair. I was wondering though, because I thought when they would biopsy the tumor that it would spill out like we saw on the guy's cheek. But it didn't, which made me wonder if it's if it can be weaponized, if somebody can control it to make it release like that, because they're not going to be tracking that one anymore. That guy hasn't been around. I guess they probably assume he's dead at this point. And nothing happened when his was exposed to air, and Cosima has no way of knowing like how to handle it because she hasn't dealt with it before. So I'm really curious as to what its actual, I don't even know purpose, but because they kind of touch on that, but.
I'm pretty sure we're all super curious.
Well, it changes your DNA, which can essentially change who you are as a person, which I think is what happened to Beth. And they said that Beth, this wasn't like, she didn't kill herself. She was pushed to kill herself. And that, the
Megabot.
Yeah, Megabot guy, who is the guy that works at the police station.
Oh, the guy with the glasses.
Yes. He saw Beth right before her death, so perhaps he put that in her cheek, and it's like, it's as though they are computers that someone is controlling, and then they can just be like, okay, go crazy, do this.
That might explain, and if it's feeding off and kind of reacting to its host, that might explain why Sarah's having this downward spiral.
Yeah, because you know what, she's always seemed so like, screw me, I care about my daughter, and I kind of care about everyone else. She's always been a martyr. But now all of a sudden she's so concerned with herself constantly and risking everyone and everything, and it just doesn't seem like her to me. She's our hero. But now she's just obsessed. But it is, it's a freaky thing. Think about taking time bombing your cheek.
I think also, like, she's always, even though it's always got out of control, she still had a little bit of control. And now with this thing in her cheek, she's like, I don't really have control. What if this thing just changes me, like, kills me or whatever? Then I don't have control of, like, protecting my daughter or everything. So she wants to get it out so she could go back to normal and protecting her and everything.
Well, and they're almost starting from square one. If it's been 6 months of, like, holy crap, I'm a clone. Holy crap, there's a secret organization behind it. Holy crap, like, I have to deal with, like, my daughter's kind of an anomaly and now valuable to these very evil people, and I have to keep her safe, and I have to keep my sisters together, and I have this family now. And as soon as they thought they were out, like, here comes Neolution to show, like, there's a whole other side and a new secret organization. And the sister that I never know but have really weird flashback conversations with, basically, I took her position and she failed, you know, and I feel like she's probably getting to a point now where all of that is just, it's got to hit some kind of point. You can't do this at this speed forever.
Exactly. And when her and MK kind of come together again in this episode, she goes to Dizzy initially to bring her to MK, because when she tries to go to MK does the thing she did with Beth, which is the computer thing. And MK says she's trying to protect them by doing this every time, you know. Why is it her specifically that she thinks will put everybody in danger, as opposed to all the other clones who are fine being with each other?
Oh, I think because of what the, what do they call it? Not the execution.
Helinsky, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Helsinki.
Yeah.
Yeah, here
we
go
got
again.
there. I forgot what Ferdinand refers to it as. Maybe it was the cleansing. He's like, I knew one of you escaped. I think it's because of that. Like, she saw her sister burned alive, like, and was unable to do anything. And I think the trauma of that, and if I'm close to anyone, if we stay together, we'll be found. So if I stay away from you, but can just give you this information that to help you survive. It's the same reason I think she leaves the house afterwards. She's like, I don't really care what happens to him now. I had planned this whole thing. I got to this point. What you do is on you. But I've done what I need to do, and I have to get out, or we're both in danger.
I agree.
Do you think that MK blames herself for Nikki's death?
100%.
But she was a clone too. It's not like she was just an innocent bystander. She was part of this as well.
I don't think she blames herself for Nikki's death, but I think it's on her to fight for
Avenge it.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's a very complicated character. Again, I really like how they're evolving her, because she kind of starts off as this innocent lamb, and we feel bad for her, and now she's kind of this
fighter.
Yeah, she's absolutely a fighter, and Sarah is going against her, and she ends up getting Dizzy to track her, and then she realizes that MK has been tracking Sarah, and she sends Ferdinand a text from Sarah's phone to meet them at Beth's house, to meet her at Beth's house, whom he thinks is Sarah. And yeah, then she does the bomb thing, which happened earlier in the episode when they go to her lair. She's like a genius. She really is. She's probably she's the smartest, I think, that Cosima is still really smart.
Smart in technology. Cosima's smart in science, I guess.
Yeah,
different
and medical
branch of
stuff.
science.
Yeah. Did anyone else think it was interesting? I can't remember the mechanic dude that Sarah's using right now. Dizzy spotted that bomb fast, and I'm wondering, like, it made me be like, Army? How do you know these things? How are you looking for a pressure plate bomb?
Well, look at his house. You know, it's kind of similar,
fair.
and also he knows MK.
I don't trust him.
You know, I don't trust him that much either, but I think he does know MK more than anybody else except Beth.
Sure.
Well, not to skip around too much, but I forgot to ask you guys this. Speaking of people we don't trust, do we trust this woman, Adele, that is Felix's, that's her name, right?
Biological
sister. Yeah. And because we get her mentioned a couple times this episode, but we don't see her again, and it just keeps on being mentioned that maybe you shouldn't trust her. And in the scenes from next week, we see like her being mentioned again to maybe not trust her. So I don't know. I mean, because you have to be careful. There's always moles.
I feel
you're
like
playing real Sarah right now.
Yeah,
you're being a real Sarah.
And I really feel like Sarah's become paranoid.
Yeah.
And I think that my guess is just I don't think so. I don't think Adele has anything to worry about. I think Sarah is a little jealous, and I think she's become paranoid and letting anyone new into their life.
She's a red herring. She's fine, you know?
That's my guess. Look, and she's like, no.
I'm like, I can't wait till I'm right.
What do you guys think? Lucas Farlow says, I don't trust Adele yet.
Yeah,
Jessica doesn't think she's a ploy. Yeah, me neither. Me neither, Jessica.
I don't know, guys. But, you know, all we do know is that MK hates Ferdinand, and she does the whole bomb thing, and she ends up taking $3.7 million of his money, which was pretty cool.
That was really boss. She was like, oh, I know. Type in your password. Do it now.
And, I mean, she was planning on blowing him up, right? Until Sarah got there. And then plans changed. So then she said, okay, let's transfer $3.7 million to my account and screw you over. But she was going to kill him.
I think she's still going to try to kill him.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So she's not gone for good, you don't think?
No way. I don't think so.
No, I think she'll need space.
She knows too much.
Not only does she know too much, I think she cares too much. I think she's trying to convince herself, like, I don't really care. I had a sister. She died. And what's most important now is, like, I stay alive. And if I can give information, I will. I think that's what she tells herself. I think that she really has a deep desire to make sure nobody else dies. And Sarah hits on that in there. She's like, we can focus on the sisters that are still alive. We don't have to just remember the dead. So I definitely think she'll be back to help the sisters.
But then MK leaves when she says that, and
but
she tells
never
Sarah to
hangs
leave.
around for
but
too long. I
she'll
don't
be
think she's
back.
going to become part of the core group. I think she likes helping from the fringes where she feels safe and like she can't put anyone else in harm. But I don't think she can stay away either.
Okay. That's an interesting point. I'm not sure. I hope that we see her again because I think she's a fascinating character, but I don't think she really cares about the rest of them. Like you said, she's not going to be part of the core group.
Yet.
I want her to.
Also fair.
I really do want her to. And then Mrs. S comes in and kind of saves the day and cuts the wire to...
That scene was hilarious.
I know.
You will not get up until I have left.
Yeah, it's like she's not even really quite sure of what she's doing.
She's like, don't do it. Sam, he'll give you some time to be prepared. How are you ever going to be prepared?
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
No.
But now Sarah has Ferdinand like on her side. You know, she helped him, he helped her. They saved each other's lives. But I understand why MK was so angry with her. Because he is like the enemy. He's one of the enemies, one of the many enemies. And he is a specific enemy that killed her sister, best friend, whatever. And I get it. And seeing this from MK's eyes, I feel like I'm mad at Sarah too.
Oh, definitely. You didn't do near enough vetting of this guy to make sure that he's cleared and good to go. I can't, like, I totally understand that you want, but everybody's working their best to get that thing out of your mouth.
You know, I gotta play a Sarah right now and be like, she had to do what she had to do. You know, desperate times call for desperate measures. She's just paranoid about that bug in her mouth, and she's like, I need to, as fast as possible, guys, just work together just for a second. You know, this is just a different mission, you know? Back then you were a bad guy in that mission, but this mission you're a good guy, so let's just be good to each other.
Well, it was also interesting what Sarah said to MK about, like, you took me out of Iceland and I was safe and happy for a very small time, and you kind of led me on this thing that was a goose chase. You didn't really need me.
Except that she called to give a warning.
Exactly.
Like, they're coming for you and you need to leave. And that's, again, Sarah not looking at a whole situation. She's so consumed by herself and her issues, which are directly related to everybody else. Like, if she would take 2 seconds to pivot and, like, look around at the full situation, I dragged you out of Iceland to save you because your daughter's premonition wasn't going to come fast enough. Like, I made sure you got out safe and had enough time to get away. I'm just so frustrated with Sarah right now. The whole time I'm like, what are you doing?
Because if this was all to save Kira, if Kira had the thing in her cheek, then I would get it. I would understand. But it's not that I don't understand her trying to save herself, but it seems to be above everything and everybody else. I don't know. I just think it's a little bit like anti of our hero that we're supposed to be following.
And plot-wise, like story structure-wise, I feel like this is a good time for this. Like, I can't be mad at the writers. I just, as a fan and of, like, somebody who always get, like, it's so great to see Sarah achieve and do well. So it's disheartening, but not upsetting, I guess, to see her go through this phase.
And like we mentioned before, I do think that we're going to maybe find out that the chip has something to do with perhaps her character change a little bit. On that note, I want to get into Rachel a little bit, who we see again, and, you know, we have Ira, who is one of the other set of clones, and she is very wrapped. She's trapped and sending messages, but she's wrapped up in the thing with Charlotte, which, as she should be, because Charlotte's kind of her daughter-ish. And, you know, Susan, her mother, kind of, for all intents and purposes, is the one locking her there. I just think that we need a lot more answers on that front. But I'm really liking what they're doing with her character, because last year we hated her so much, just like we hate Susan now.
It's showing that she does have feelings, you know, like for that Charlotte.
What did you guys think about her decision making with Charlotte? Did you feel like which part was true?
I think she's just telling Susan what Susan wanted to hear. You know,
but even in the end, she had a chance to be like, because I totally agree with you. Like, she was even like, that's what you wanted to hear, right? And I felt a sense of like playing the game there. Like, I need to figure out, because that's her jailer. If she wants to get out, she wants to see the outside world, she does have to kind of play this
right
game.
Yeah.
But I also found it kind of shocking that she didn't. I really thought we were going to have a change of heart. Like, at the last minute, when she was like, and per your request, we're not going to do anything with Charlotte. And I was like, and this is where you say something. And this, right now, is where you become a human being. And it just never happened. I was like, come on, we're so close.
But they weren't sure exactly what they could do with Charlotte.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a potentially lose-lose situation. And that was a part as well that I was a little bit confused about. I didn't really understand what Charlotte's, like, diet, like, you know, what was going to fix her, what it was that they were going to do. I don't really think they even knew. But I guess it was a risk, and I don't know, but we see her have heart.
Yeah, I mean, and that was good.
A small one, but it's still there.
I have a feeling that, because Charlotte and her are, like all clones, are very kind of connected, and that's, like, specifically clone made of her. So I'd be interested to see if they maybe pull, like, a switcheroo a little later on, because she is not getting along with her mother figure at all. I don't think they like each other. I think maybe they might be playing a long con together, which I think would be fun.
Rachel and Charlotte?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in a way they are, but then Susan finds out that, like, I know that you've been sending messages out and contacting people, but then she doesn't, like, seem that angry, which threw me off.
I mean, she's been trying, like, she knows Rachel's not a dummy. She's gonna try and work her way out of there. So I feel like that's why she's not surprised, because why would you be that content, like, living in some place you don't even know where? You're gonna try and get out, you know?
And it made me sad that Rachel or Charlotte was like, well, your room is a lot better than mine. When
Where are they keeping Charlotte was my same question. I'm like, I mean, this room is big. Is it just a size thing? Like, are you in, like, a cell? Mm-hmm. Are you being brought into, like, because we have no idea what Charlotte and Susan's kind of conversations are outside of that room. Like, is she being asked to play some kind of game or, like, manipulate Rachel in some way? It's all very concerning. Like, I want Rachel out of there, which is so weird, because at the end of last season, I would have been like, keep her there forever. She deserves it. And now I'm like, we have to get her out of there.
I mean, I still want her in. I don't trust her either. So
I don't either, but it's nice to see that she has this soft spot for a little girl, kind of, that I do think that her heart is in the right place in that storyline.
Everybody has a soft spot, though. I feel like look at Helaina. She was a killer, and she softened up pretty quick.
Exactly.
You know?
But even when we saw Helaina for the first time, season 1, we were just like, what a dope, like, whoa. Yeah. She's crazy, but she's so fascinating and cool. When we first met Rachel, I was like, this is the first clone I actually am like, screw you, go away, please, please, please go away. I don't like you.
Yeah.
But now she's interesting, and clarify for me some things with the Charlotte clones. Because her and the Castor clone, Ira, Rachel and him were talking about the other clones that were made, like the Charlotte clones. That's what I'm calling them. I don't think there's a name for them yet.
So they're a clone of a clone, basically.
I guess.
And they're not living. Like, they don't really last long.
Then why do they make them?
Because they're trying and get one to live, because they want to keep
They're sciencing them.
Yeah.
We can make it bigger and stronger and better the further we go on. So they keep dying, and then by figuring out how... That's why they choose to let Charlotte deteriorate. She's the youngest to deteriorate this quickly. We can study her, figure out maybe what's going on, get some research, and then start again with a new batch of clones.
Well... On that note, guys, let's get into some predictions.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
I said, ooh, there we go.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, start us off, girl.
I guess my prediction is that next week we're going to figure out a lot more about Brightborn. And I really hope Evie Cho is featured more prominently next week. I want to know where these babies are going, what's happening with them, who is kind of following this cultish thing. Some people are getting their babies back, but we haven't seen others. I'm obsessed with this organization already. especially the spin of like, we're making the world better one baby at a time, then why do you have to keep it so secret? Like, who doesn't want accolades for, like, we make better babies. Like, it's easier for you and for the world, and they're going to be smarter.
Army babies.
Exactly. That's shady as hell, and I need more information.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see MK again. She's not gone for good. It's a little baby prediction, but I think she's gonna not to be
Baby.
yeah. No, but I think she's gonna help out. She's gonna realize. I mean, there's a reason why she called Sarah out of nowhere to be like, "You need to get out of there," you know.
Yeah.
So she's gonna realize who's important, you know.
I agree with you, and I think that at the end of the day, she might end up sacrificing herself in some way to save her sisters, in a way that she didn't with Nikki. And I also, this was my prediction I was talking about earlier that came to me, I think that Helaina is going to end up giving her babies to Alison.
Whoa.
I can see that.
Whoa.
Or at least one of them, maybe, or somehow she's going to end up with them because Helaina gets taken or can't do it. I don't know, but I
see
think
that
that
happening
that's...
if Helaina dies, which thematically I could totally see. I don't want at all, but I could definitely see the first, like, her fight or flight instinct is non-existent. It's just fight, and she's always rushing in to help the sisters, like diving in front of bullets and stuff. And yeah, I think she probably would leave them to Alison if anything happened. But oh my gosh, she's giving them away. I don't know if I see all that.
I mean, she has two, so maybe she'll be like, "You have one,
Yeah.
I have one.
You take one, I take
Sisters.
one." But also, you know, Alison wants her own children, but they have the same DNA, so essentially it is kind of like similar. But then it's Sarah and Helaina that have like the exact. So I don't know. That's what I think. Let us know what you guys think. Please, in the comments, tweet at us for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in. One more time, guys, where can everyone find you on social media throughout the week?
Check me out at Joelle Monique. Hit me up on Black Girl Nerds. I'm around.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Holly Weirdo. I'm on the SNL AFTERBUZZ show, not tonight, but I will be back next week. And then Silicon Valley, I lead host at 10.
Awesome. And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at samdavidsonentertainment.com. Twitter and Instagram, CMD43. I'll be on the Vampire Diaries right here in the same studio in a few minutes, so check me out there if you want. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Bye!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.